Yeah, this is the video right here. It's Deontay Wilder sparring his friend and former opponent, Malik Scott. And Malik Scott is doing, well, they're not sparring, they're just, moving around and shaping up in front of each other. But Malik Scott is imitating Tyson Fury stylistically. And despite some silly comments in the comment section, Malik Scott's actually doing a pretty darn good job at imitating Tyson Fury here. I'm not saying he's exactly like Tyson Fury. How can he be? He's not Tyson Fury. But he's doing a pretty good job. The movement of Fury, switching southpaw orthodox, the little feints. He's giving Deontay Wilder the kind of look that Tyson Fury is going to give him. Now, obviously, Malik Scott is a lot smaller than Fury. Malik Scott is 6'4". Fury is, they say, 6'9", maybe closer to 6'7" than 6'9", who knows. But he's definitely bigger than Malik Scott. But nonetheless, from a stylistic point of view, movement, etc., Malik Scott is doing a good job of imitating Tyson Fury here and preparing Deontay Wilder for the kind of look that he's going to expect on December 1st. And from a tactical point of view, I think one of the things that Deontay Wilder needs to do is take away Tyson Fury's jab completely. Take away his jab. Stay way on the outside. I think from a tactical point of view, that's where you need to go. You need to make Tyson Fury hesitant. You need to make him second guess himself. And that is not an easy task because Tyson Fury is a very self-assured, confident man with a very, very strong will. Probably the strongest will of anybody Deontay Wilder would have ever been in the ring with before. Tyson Fury's will is very strong. And so in order to break that will, in order to sow seeds of doubt in Tyson Fury's mind, he needs to take Tyson Fury out of his comfort zone. If Tyson Fury isn't hitting anything with his jab, and some people would say, hey, he wasn't hitting anything in the Klitschko fight for long stretches. It was a very low volume fight by both men. And Tyson Fury wasn't perturbed by that. He wasn't anxious because he wasn't touching Klitschko regularly. But Klitschko was playing into Tyson Fury's hands. Even though Fury wasn't landing regularly, at least not in the first half of the fight, with jabs, etc., Fury wanted to box on the back foot. He didn't want to be overly pressured. He wanted to be able to use his height and reach advantage. And Klitschko allowed that. Klitschko didn't do anything to negate Tyson Fury from a tactical point of view. I think Deontay Wilder, maybe for a few rounds, should go on a little bit of a scouting mission, which I expect him to, by the way, whereby he doesn't allow Tyson Fury to touch him with anything. Just stay well out of distance, move around himself, and say, if you want to fight, Tyson is right here. But you ain't going to win the rounds if you ain't touching me with anything. Body language. Dwyer talks about this a lot, and it's true. Body language plays a big part in the perception that people have of the way a fight is going. When one fighter is on the back foot and they're clowning and they look confident and they look happy, as Tyson Fury did against Klitschko, in a slow round where neither guy has really landed anything, the judges in the crowd will tend to side with the guy whose body language looks more confident and comfortable. Because he looks like the ring general. They call it ring generalship. And Vladimir Klitschko, being a very serious kind of character in the ring, a guy who doesn't showboat, a guy who doesn't go for all that, the fact that he was, statuesque in the Fury fight and wasn't doing any showboating of himself, of his own, and the fact that his body language didn't look particularly comfortable or confident compared to Tyson Fury's, I think that did play against him. With the crowd, it played against him with the judges. And again, I'm not at all disputing the decision. Tyson Fury beat Vladimir Klitschko hands down, fair and square. but it was a very low volume fight. It wouldn't have taken Vladimir Klitschko to land, more than 4 or 5 decent shots in any given round for him to have won the fight. It's not like Tyson Fury went in there and was lighting Vladimir Klitschko up like a Christmas tree every single round, outlanded him 10-1. No, that's not what kind of fight it was. It was a very low volume fight for most of the rounds with, barely 2 clean punches separating them for most of the rounds. Similar to David Haye against Valiev. Very similar kind of fight. So Deontay Wilder, in terms of his body language, needs to make sure that he doesn't fall into the same trap that Vladimir Klitschko fell into. And apparently Deontay Wilder has got pictures all around his gym of Tyson Fury fighting Klitschko to remind himself of not only who he's fighting, but remind himself perhaps not to fall into the same trap that Klitschko fell into. So yeah, I think ring generalship is going to be very important in this fight. Because not only does it matter to the crowd and to the judges, but it matters to the other fighter. Tyson Fury knew that Klitschko was frustrated by the fact that he couldn't land his jab on him. Fury knew this. And because Fury knew this, it made Fury more confident. And Klitschko knew that Fury knew, and that was making Klitschko more frustrated. Do you understand the kind of psychological dynamic that goes on in a boxing match? It's like, when you're in high school. When I was in high school, we were all, as they say in America, snapping on each other. Now, I was a loudmouth in high school, all right? So I'd be snapping on somebody. I'd be, joking and having boisterous banter. And sometimes I'd be snapping on someone who wasn't as talented verbally as me, and they get upset. You understand what I'm saying? Because they feel like they're being shown up. They're being humiliated. Now, I hadn't done anything to them physically, but I just made them feel as though I was getting the upper hand in front of this crowd. Do you understand what I'm saying? And that manifested in them feeling angry and feeling a certain way. And that made it look as though I was winning. Even though this is just a verbal exchange, it's not physical. It made it look as though I was winning. And it made everybody kind of laugh at what I was saying even more. And that made them more frustrated. A similar situation in the boxing ring. It doesn't have to be punches exchanged that color a crowd or a judge's perception. It's also, if the crowd believe that a certain fighter is having the better of it, even because he's just showboating a little bit and looks more confident, that can frustrate the other fighter. And it frustrated, I think, Vladimir Klitschko because he could sense that the crowd were kind of buying into what Fury was doing. Does this make sense? So, yeah, Deontay Wilder needs to make sure he don't play into that. If Fury clowns, he needs to make sure he can clown. At a safe distance, obviously. He needs to show Fury that his confidence level is just as high. And that he's just as relaxed. He can't show Fury that he's frustrated at any point. He can't do that. That plays into Fury's hands. So it's going to be an interesting psychological battle as well as a tactical and physical battle. As I say, Wilder needs to minimize the amount that Tyson Fury can touch him, even touch his gloves. Deontay Wilder, when he fights a lot of these tall guys, he likes to fight behind a high guard. Did you see him against Gerald Washington? Did you see him against Kelvin Price? Wilder had a high guard in both of those fights. If you got a high guard, very often you'll be letting the opponent hit your gloves. I don't think it's a good idea. It's not a good visual for Deontay Wilder to be allowing Tyson Fury to hit his gloves. Now, don't get it twisted. Tyson Fury is going to have to be very careful, even when hitting Wilder's gloves, because Wilder is cat quick. If one of those jabs that Tyson Fury flicks out comes back even a split second too slow, the fight could be over. The big right hand comes across from Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury sprawled out on the canvas. So, anyway, let me know what you feel about everything I've talked about in this video. David Hayes' opinion is that Tyson Fury is going to have to fight out of his skin to win this fight. And from a tactical point of view, psychology is going to play a big part, in my opinion. So yeah, let me know how you feel, people. It's happening, I'm out. Join me on Patreon. I upload a minimum of 2 podcasts every single week, covering a wide variety of controversial topics, as well as live stream Q&A sessions. Take a look on screen right now at some of the podcasts I've produced so far. For just $3 a month, the equivalent of about £2 a month, you get access to all my new podcasts and my entire back catalogue of past podcasts, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen on your computer or on your smartphone or tablet by downloading the Patreon app from the Google Play Store or the App Store for free. The Patreon app also allows you to download each podcast in MP3. For less than the price of a cup of coffee, you get access to dozens of hours of exclusive content. It's easy to sign up, there's no contract, and you can cancel at any time. So come and join our community of free and critical thinkers by signing up with me here on Patreon today.